Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today's kind of a unique, different video for me, different knife for me that I've experienced. I saw it being really cool, and Vosteed Cutlery actually sent this particular knife out for me to check out, and it is the Vosteed Corgi. Before I get too much into it, because I'm also going to take this knife apart because it's kind of revolutionary where the plunge lock works here. It's a little bit different, and I wanted to look at that, so it may be a struggle bus video. But firstly, I want to thank all the channel members. Thank you guys so much. And I want to invite all the rest of you who haven't had a chance to subscribe yet. If you're so inclined, please hit that subscribe button. It won't take you but a sec. And that bell notification icon. I thank you greatly. So the Vosteed Corgi. When I first saw this knife, I was intrigued by it because of the way that the flipper deployments were. It's very much a what I would consider a linear shaped knife, very balanced, where you've got a flipper tab on the back, a flipper tab on the front, a pivot, and this little button. And then you've got this little steel plate for this reversible clip and a body screw. And on the back side, it's set up for right hand carry. You've got a clip, the pivot screw, and the body screw. So two body screws basically hold this knife together. And the flipper tab, I just basically rolled it, but it works very well. If you get your finger on the corner here and just push down on it or light switch it, push out or push down, it really flies out. Now, it does not come out of the handle, but once you touch this button, you can slow roll it if you want to, because it does break that detent once you touch it. So what I do is, whether I'm front flipping it, which you guys know I hate, or if I'm finger flipping it, I just give it barely any juice. And it'll either going to roll out or it's going to fire out. But this knife is a very neutral shape. It is 14C28N. This is the blacked out version with the blacked out blade, black micarta, and this little brass bolster here. The only marking on it is Vosteed Corgi, and then the blade steel here in the corner at 14C28N. You've got this really nice steel pocket clip that's deep carry up to about right here. Goes in and out of pocket effortlessly. And you've got this little logo here, which I don't know if that's the designer or if that's Vosteed. You guys leave in the comment if you have any idea. I've not seen it on any of my other Vosteeds, so I don't know if that has to do with the Corgi or if it has to do with Vosteed. But what they got really right here, if you'll notice this jimping, is the jimping and the jimps actually go all the way up to the top. You've got this little nub, and then they continue over to turn into your jimping on your blade. So for example, when I open this knife, the jimping is here and it's here because it's basically balanced, right? You've also, I noticed on this blade, where this plunge grind comes down, you do have a nice little sharpening choil. So you're not going to get a smile right off the bat. You're going to get several sharpenings there. The blade is not just a flat spear point, drop point blade. It has this nice swedge up here towards the top. Very, very slicey knife because it's thin. I consider it in that class, which does not really exist, but I kind of made it up when I first started collecting knives, of being a gentleman's folder, because it doesn't look at all aggressive. It doesn't look threatening, and it goes in and out of the pocket, whether you're wearing khakis, jeans, shorts, you name it, effortlessly. So the grind on it is very even. It is very slicey. I want to say, and I will leave a link in the description to Vosteed's website, but I want to say this knife on their website is $59. So I think the price is done great for a budget knife that's unlike anything I've seen, because again, it's a button lock, but it's not a button lock in the tradition where you've got your plunge up at the top locking in the blade. If you'll notice here, there is no, the plunge is completely internal. So when we take this knife apart, our little plunge area is going to come through this blade, and I imagine it's going to have a little track, but you don't have any external exposure to it, which I just thought was kind of different. You've got great weight relief inside the scales for milling, kind of speed holes, so to speak. Got a nice micarta backspacer here with a pin that they've utilized for the lanyard levers to make sure that those people aren't left out. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons, and then we're going to take this thing apart because I don't want this video to be 45 minutes, and I know I struggle bust quite a bit. So, CD Baby Banter, Cold Steel 4max. This knife will be disappearing. It won't be for a while. It's going to be on vacation, and we'll have to find another size comparison knife. Look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out, which it looks kind of like in blade shape, and the Benchmade Mini Bug Out. Kind of splits the difference of those guys there. So let's see what that translates to into measurements. This knife comes in at 7 1/4 inches with a 4 1/4 inch handle and a 3-inch blade. Cutting area, 3 inches. There we go, guys. Do y'all want to get thinness while we're here? Might as well. I just know this is going to take a while if I break it down. 0.12 or 0.12. And our handle thickness, right under 1/2 inch, 0.7. And I bet you right under an inch on the height. So again, a very angular, nice gentleman's folder. All right, guys. So let's, for the sake of science, let's take this bitch apart. Let's see if we can take it apart without, I'm going to need a finger bit, I bet you, because it's pulling out the other screw. All right, guys. This is why we always try to be ready with our finger bit and an additional bit. So I need a T8. This is 6. Excellent. That's an 8. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak this one back in by hand. Because I would prefer it to come out from the side where I'm going to take the pivot, but I'll probably end up having to take all these screws out. Yeah, it's going to back that one out. All right, that should be a part. Let's see what we got. And I'm going to take the clip off. I don't think that'll be good just to get it out of the way. Now I'm going to seat my T8 in there if I can do it without. So it's out. I don't know why that's not coming. Let's do this. Let's see what happens if we take the pivot out. All while trying not to let this button fly away. Let's see. There's our spring on one side. All right, so if our spring was on this side, do we also have a spring on this side? So our spring was right here. Attention. Nope. It just runs on that one side. All right, guys, this is fascinating shit here. So what we've got a little tiny bearing that's actually turned the wrong way. So I'm going to take that out. We're going to lube it up. Because see, this is one of those press bearings. We may even see if if we can skip this. But see how this little tiny bearing had the tracks facing the blade on this side? This side it's done right. You've got the smooth side with the ceramic bearings facing the blade. But look, guys, this plunge is all internal in this knife. And when you push it through here, the spring is on this side and butts up against the scale here, or against the scale. So your pressure comes from the button side, but it very, very neat. Very well done. And something I've never seen before. You guys might have seen it before. I have never seen that before. I've never seen an internal button lock. I just want to lube this up after cleaning it up. All right, guys, let's see if we can get it together without it being a struggle to us and make it quick, make it sweet. First thing we want to do is get the size of our little tiny bearings, because I might order some of these from Skiff. I do not have my mat because I didn't want this to become, I wanted it to be a review overview, but I told you guys during the unboxing that we would check it out, how it works. All right, those are 1mm. See that? Those are the smallest. They go through the 1mm slot. So now I've got to take my pivot, 4mm. See that? So this is going to tell us that we've got a 4mm, a 1/14. Let's do this. Let me get my paper. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go 4mm by 1mm. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls. Just out of curiosity. And then let's just check. Trying to get in this bearing track here. We'll call that 6. Yep. All right. Put that away for a later day. All right. So I'm going to get my alcohol and get my blade. Good and cleaned out. And I don't want to, oh shit. I didn't want that to fall out. Let's see if that's our button. I want that to go through. We have to check that to see which way we want it to go through because we know we want it to butt into that scale. Let's just clean her up. All right, so our button on this side. And our plate on this side. And our blade going this way. We want our button to come in that way. All right. So I'll put that in there. Yep. Just talking to myself, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a splat as KPL original. When I put this bearing on the right way, I'm going to put it in my fingers. Put a little drop there. I'll drop there. I'll drop there on the back side. That on. Then we are going to magnet's getting stuck on there. See, that's where it. I think I might be backwards, guys. Oh, let me just look at something for shits and giggles. There we go. All right. We may be backwards, but I think that's where it's got to be. So let's get another dripply drop or a KPL. Not much. Let's clean up our bearing. Make sure we get the smooth side or the stable side. Blade in. Boom. All right. Let's get a little spring. This is probably going to be the tricky part, guys. Got our stop pin. But I've got to get you know what I think I can do? This is going to work out very well. I don't need to put that spring in yet. You know why? Because I think I can let my body screw. Let's see something here. All right. That was our 50-50 chance, and we failed miserably. So, all we've got to do to adjust We want to keep our bearings in. Once you pop that button in, like so. Hard doing this through the camera, kids. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm just going to kill it. But it is more difficult. I'm not this goofy putting knives together. I'm just struggling with the camera. There we go. All right. So now we should be remedied. Now we left a little pin out. Let's put stop pin, little side pin. All right, side pin didn't get stuck, so that sucks. Welcome to a light edition of the struggle bus. Nothing serious, nothing to be alarmed with, just stating the facts. All right, so let's take again and tweak our body screw just ever so slightly to kind of hold what we got. Our knife closes, which is what we want. Now we want to get our screw. Where'd that come from? Right here, maybe? Let's see. Nope. It came from the button. So we got to take it apart yet again. But the good news is, guys, we are doing it together. I'm sure y'all have all bailed by now, and I don't blame you. But I think this is the last time I will fuck this up. Let's see if this goes in like that. Well, that's fucking weird. All right. Guys, I don't know where this goes. Let's see. Right there. All right. Now, if I can just get what I don't understand, I guess the tension, I'm gonna blow that out. Maybe not. I'm a bit confused, guys, but I'm not gonna let it get me down. All right, let's see what this is going to do for us, if anything, because I'm still struggling trying to figure out how my button doesn't fall out. All right, let's do it like this. I'm glad I took it apart, guys, because it was definitely something that is unconventional, which to me I find is cool. And now that I know how to do it, it's not that hard with the spring being on this side. Easy to capture. I left the fucking backspacer out. This is why you call it a struggle bus video, guys. Somebody stop me. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Get this motherfucker in there. Goony goong. Son of a bitch. All right. Now let's put that through there. Stop pin. Do this. And finally, let's take our spring and capture it behind our brass plate. Try to put it in our pivot without jettisoning the whole assembly. Too tight. Perfect. Lubed up. Guys, that was a 31-minute video. Up, and I haven't even got the clip back on. All right, let's see. Right hand, I'm going to put it right here. And then we're going to be done, guys. I appreciate your patience. I will add a little bust to the thumbnail of this video so y'all see it's not just 30 minutes of talking about an awesome little gentleman's knife, but there's also some pain and suffering that is always fun to watch, especially when it's resolved, because it'll show you if you get your knife apart and you're sitting there looking at pieces and you're scratching your head, you don't give up, because what you'll figure out is there are only so many ways it can go together. I've had that happen so many times before I had a channel, before I put it on screen. I've only done a couple of disassemblies since I've had a channel, and you guys have seen how crazy they can go. So just know that we're all human, and these knives are taken apart and put together in the factory all the time. So don't be scared to play with them. And that is the Vosteed Corgi. A great little knife, even though I went through that little bit of struggle bus. Feels great, front flipper works great, very angular. Just a mad win, guys. I want to take a second and thank you for coming by and watching the content. I appreciate all y'all's support. I love each and every one of you. What I'll leave you with and what I'll ask you is please, please, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.